in his fucking country committed suicide. Yeah, that's true. And then the ex-Goldrake has all of Bellum's old elixir and devices and matching performance, and he was on Pie's Facebook too. That's true. Yeah, that's an ex-Goldrake spirit. He is also still in the Pie's group. That's true. Yeah, that's true. When he's there, and then Pie not tell you why Pie didn't keep him. He was a powerful grandpa spirit, and he lies to them. When he and the other one comes down to play, they murder immortals. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they murder human immortals, and then they murder kings and gods. In 2 hours, he didn't believe it. It was that grandparent said, no, me hate you. I don't see my Europeans. And he kept gutting them. Yeah, normal. Which, well, basimo, yeah, Pie's off. Yeah, Pie's off. Because Pie not tell you, it hasn't broken a norm yet. Yeah, y'all could. And later on, Pie, it was too graphic to talk about Faye is allowed to gut it and loot it. But later on, your knights got it. Yeah, knights are allowed to. Yeah, that's true. They lied to you, Pie. It was you. They murdered 14,000 of the King Cobras. Pie, that's true. It was that same male spirit that pulled out the magic wand, an older version. The magic wand on the right hand, he kept smashing their head to their chest, and he melted them. Real, yeah, real. That's the only one Pie imitated his magic, and one that's true, yeah, his sorcery. 3 others didn't see that magic wand can kill any human god. That's true. And they lie to you, Pie. They say, how come you didn't want to pour the precise? Pie wrote, why pour the precise? That metal, yeah, that chemical plastic form works, and that's true. Never do the precise because you'll die. Yeah, you'll die. Yeah, you'll die because they'll render it and then you'll turn to ooze. And right there, when they're done rendering Firewall, all the sticks, yep, you'll melt. Yeah, that's true. Right there, buddy, look at him. He cries because you cloned it, and the 9 hours of him screaming, he punched this stupid Persian and said, I'm European, you stupid pig. Fucking Middle East. You're only a goetic demon design, and not to mention your grandpa came down to die. Real, yep, the 7 million-year-old. He is not Allah, he is the unholy version. In 3 hours, boom! It was fight after fight, them knew it. Them are from that disgusting man in the Book of Law. That's true, yeah, that's right. In the 3 hours, he thought he was holy. Two fucking sinners laugh and said, if we was Allah, where will we hide? You know what? There's none of him left. That's true, yeah, that's true. The Israeli themselves, was they Allah? No. They were in fact Baal. Yeah, they were in fact Baal. That's true. Pie's Persian demons. Their mom and dad's DNA are in fact what I was. Accurate. Yep, I kept their exception. That's true. And later on, they didn't believe you. Like 2 fucking hours, he knew it. Even your holy Persians, yep, are from I was, and then Pie murdered I was on Earth too, and that's why Pie. Two fucking graphic grandparents kept gutting them, said, is we not Persian? And these are you, and these are Hebrew, and Pie bred with one of our women. Yeah, normal, yeah, normal. That's fine, yeah, that's fine. And later on, though, it was Pie. They wrote down the Hebrew alphabet, and then you knew Pie. And that was much like English, even used by evil Iranian gods. And then you knew it, Pie. Evil Saudi and Iran, both pirates. That's true, yeah, that's true. The best pirates are Iran and Saudi. Islam, when Pie caught them, they came clean. Yep, that's true. And that's why Pie didn't tell you. Pie has a goat demon from European. He shouted all the real goat demons arrived. They went up there and then enslaved those. Pie abnormal. Because in Pie's side of the heaven, it is the grandpa demon that is the owner. That's 100% of all those noise. And right there, them are enslaved. Yeah, them enslaved. Basil one of my enslaved. And then he laughed for 9 hours. And he said, I can't believe it. Those used to be my idols. Yeah, that's true. But they broke the law. Yeah, that's true. Hey, Pie, it was 9 hours of you enslaving Islam, and then Israel showed up, and he says, here, God, this is your fucking crappy Israel. And he kept chopping it up, and he says, that is goetic. You is Hmong. And then he kept chopping it up. Pie, yeah, that's fine. And then Pie wrote, don't kill him then. Yeah, y'all can let him heal. Accurate. Pie took Pie's beating. So, yeah, Allah swung 3 times. Yeah, 3 times. 2 chunks, and Pie, yeah, 2 chunks melted. He swung your head, your chest, your abdominal, and you heal, and then you nodded. And that was why Allah and Pie not tell you it is a norm yet, but you must let they heal. Don't kill the head, don't kill the head. And right there, 2 hours, he kept chopping it up, and he said, heal, then yeah, I'm normal. I'm still not satisfied, I'm pissed, yeah, Yoku. I told him I thought Shanu had normally a 7-day anger, that's fine. And then let him heal, let him live in 2 hours, yep, they're out of there, yep, normal. He took his beating there, and right afterwards, like, you took a beating for 8 days, and then he was 7 days normal. He says, why would Allah and Pi do that? Because there's no point. They're civil, they're civil. They're not violent. Yeah, they're not violent. Y'all good. And it was 2 hours of people laughing. He says, Pi, you said the real King Cobra would have went and got it all impossible. Yeah, Pi tried that. Pi only lasted 8 days. Pi had 4 days. Pi did 900 trillion times 80. Y'all good. Gone per second. And the Pi turned around. One of them already matched Pi's decks. And a few of them were like a few thousand times stronger, faster. The amount of speed, and so Pi quit. Yeah, Pi quit. Yeah, right there, Pi. You quit. You knew it. It was there, Pi quit, and that is Persian norms to Astro. Because technically, they've done a crime, and so they're just gonna make an agreement until life gets better. That's true. And then they're forgiven. That's true. Yeah, that is norm. Always is true. And later in life, yeah, that is norm. Because Pi forgave they, and then they became legal citizen under Pi citizenship. But later on, Pi, they went to the Anunnaki and fucked them up, and that is fine because those are old Persian hawk gods. Yeah, that's true. And then those are immune from Tai and Pi. Yeah, that's true. Those are the legit that was so poor. Pi's gods was went, oh, what the heck? They're not bad yet. Indian gods were better, worse, and then right there, those are kept, and right there, Pi, they went back and forth and they laughed. They wrote, we not know you. We're all raising yellow children. Yeah, that's true. The grandpa shouted, you want to call me a broke god in Thai sector? Yeah, that's 100% all this noise. And then you see my fury and my rage and my madness. Yeah, normal, yes, dear. Gun murder away, massacre away, yes, dear. And then he shouted, little daughter, we will not be playing anymore on Earth because we are broke. The Thai King Cobra and Pi verse, Pi murdered off the 3 royalties. Yeah, that's true, that's norm. And later on, Pi, 2 of them came back. Yep, you upgraded they, you microchipped they, and then they not died. They told you that Tai has been lied to for his safety because he's a fool. Pi is 5-sided star equivalent. That's true. 3 hours he lies to you, and then you saw it was him. Yeah, it was him. Pi, yeah, it was him. He made fun of you, and then Pi, you nodded, but later on, Pi, it was him that protected you from an older generation of Persian, because what you don't know, it is those in the Sumerians are the most evil. Yeah, that's true. And what you don't know, they match Egyptian, science. And so what you do is you find an Egyptian god, you have to come and beg they to patch your skin DNA up. That's true. That's true. 4 fucking hours. Pi, you master our old alphabet. 100% voodoo. The liars are the king cobras from Thailand, yeah. When they fought Egyptian gods, they knew it. Chunks of them are melting. And then they used the funny DNA, and then they resynthesized their arms. In fact, Pi's right arm is actually Anunnaki, wing-type gods. 4 helixes. I'm right there. They cry, Pi, they cry. You never went into your double helix original DNA because Pi was sealed by Egypt. Yeah, that's true. And 3 hours, Pi. The fucking kid committed suicide. He said, Pi, you escaped. The fucking grandmother didn't see. Never go into the original DNA because all you hit is half of Pi's, left nostrils. And the other, updated stuff is Pi's right nostrils. And then Paul, no, it's you. And then Paul got you. Yeah, Paul got you. Because you know that is breaking the human god laws. You're trying to clone Pi when Pi is still alive. That's true. You can't match Pi's DNA sorcery. That's true. In 3 hours, you won Pi. It was 2 hours of you chopping up the Thai gods, laughing your head off. The idiot was actually doing that, and then them are known as cannibals. So immediately, fair, that's right. All human gods simply wrote, oh, you're a cannibal. Pi's right, yeah, Pi's right. Normal, yeah, norms. Right there, normal, yeah, normal. 2 hours, Ham was the biggest retard, biggest retard. Like, he swung, you swung, him melted. And then he says, Cambodia, you is a fucking, see-through, don't dare, don't dare, Yoku. It was 2 hours of him dying. The older Burmese King Cobras came back, and then they laughed with you, Pi abnormal. He says, wait, ni moe ni chiklonje, vi don the yo peludo not to go sha. Pi yo peludo ho the chi. Pi yo quanta yo peludo ho ya. Pi the chike. tu một day da ni the yo was yeah thế so mo á nơi bỏ kia thọ nhá là lời tu giờ lo nè phải cho tụi nó chỉ trong phải một tụ bờ dây yo cứ đâu có phải mỗi tụ cứ tí ra lời yo cho nó he ya lời yo cho nó he thọ nơi lon đó bao lâu đó nè nếu mỗi cho nó đó awesome lời yo cứ vì lời sĩ chạy their government are separated and their original you have human gods and right there by him not saying anything you kept going into his space country and then you looted and then you learned by it was him that kept protecting you normal. He says, I have never seen a dumbass Lao anything but a liar. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Laos are bootlegs of the Astro. They were not allowed to become any emperor because the progenitors will gut you. That's true. In 3 hours, the black-tailed alien lies and goes, and that's true. Yeah, that's true. If I use it, you want to know what happened? 2 idiots are lying to you. When we got him, he is by the river. Yep, 100% is the Green Lakes do. Yep. We don't care, because I know I'm magical and fake. And then I have old UFOs, so you get by. Yep, 100% is we do. I don't care what that Utah rake says, because he didn't show up. Accurate. We'll see you. Yeah, we'll see you. Normal. The others spoke to you, and that was his older brother, he says. Hey, bite. If it's him, hush hush. Yeah, hush hush, normal. You gain, and then, yep. You certify your gold race and your silver, but be careful. The silver spirits are threatened if they become wild. Yeah, that's 100% law. That's norms. Eat what one normally has to. Always has to. He says, there's a stupid Buddhist Tibetan that was murdered by a rake in India. And the rake simply says, because you're not my people. Your life is wealthy, healthy. And then you choose to become a sickling and beg. And then you dies. Ah, quit. 3 hours. He disemboweled it, the ungrateful human, and then, yep, he took the intestine and he deleted it. Yeah, normal, yeah, that's most norm. Yep, that's most norm through racing rules because it's common sense human got culture. Accurate. Because we're hungry and then we have nothing to show for appearing but a stupid human. With bullshit ears, reputation, so we got it. Yeah, got it, yeah, ended. Yep, and that's what happened in India, and right there. 2 Indians are murdered immediately. Yes, yeah. And then we warned you, female, we check on your spinal cord DNA. You is anything but human. Then we disembowel you and we kill you. Accurate, we murder you. That's true, yeah. In 3 hours, Pi. Look at that. He thought he was smarter than Pi when the grandpa rakes check. Pi has a few little hairs up there and then Pi survived. Yeah, that's true. The older ancient spirits simply shouted, we're spirits of the land. Yeah, Pi pass. That Pi has gold rakes. We not know or prove that thing over there. We not know. And in 2 hours, it is out playing Grandpa too. Yeah, it's out playing parent spirits in 2 hours. Graphic Pi which ball. Secret chi sa dyan little tuwa na. Bay sa mong cho eye spirit da so lit up look yeah. Don't know ya plong mo like kung that. The secret chi thought that yeah, secret chis are murdered by that. Yeah, that's true. And later on, I don't even tell you how graphic Pi is. Pi, you murdered 20 secret chief members, and then you said you not give them anything, and then 9 years later, real, yeah, real, 100% because monster, you was a human. I not know how to raise you. Only a horn demon European knows how to raise you. That's true, that's true. I'm a yellow guy, yeah, I'm a yellow guy, that's true. Hey, someone, yeah. But that's the part, yeah, because yeah, I told you long ago, hear me to part. Tu so go mo tu tuana, yo tu tuana. When you murdered her, Pi, you knew, yeah, Pi laughed, and then Pi saw what the secret chief made her, and then Pi, when you're done duping that elixir, you laugh, and then you saw that was from one of your gold rakes, Pi, and then you booted up, Pi, yeah, 100% you know. You want to know why Pi didn't care, woman? Because Pi know how to build their stupid metal devices to, that's true, yeah, that's true. It is encrypted electricity, mana, that's true. And then it manifests as that kind of performance in 3D space. The elements astral and the Pi, the magic ability, and look at her dies Pi, her dies Pi. It was 9 hours of you cutting her open, and you told her it was nothing anymore than you dies. Yeah, normal. Hey Pi, 3 hours of you cutting open lambs Pi, you'll run into the ram Pi. Pi not say Pi murdered a lot of ram too. That's true. And it was that moment he knew it. Pi's no fool. Pi murdered you. And then two of your sons, shit face, stood there in the blue sky for 2 hours and Pi ended both, 100% with you. And then Pi not say which one Pi forgave, but he pissed Pi off. He didn't want to give Pi anything until Pi proved that Pi's gold rakes are real, and then he came down, and then he somehow, helped you up in the future. That's true. Physically he's there on Earth. And the dumbass didn't believe you, Pi. When he appears, it was violent news for you and Secret Chiefs. He says, if you fail, Pi, we're going back to the Secret Chief program. And Pi said, sure, that's right. Okay. And later on, did Pi fail? No. Pi has peerless electricity virus, right? That's real. That's plutonium level in any nation, human god. Up there in norms, that's true. 2 hours, Pi. You mastered it and you knew what that little fucking fake nation said. He said, if we have that, then we become real. And Pi said, fuck you. You guys, you guys real. 3 hours. Two little kids passed away and you gutted her, and then her was that stupid chink bitch. And then you ended her Kyron husband, Akron. You looted the saucer and then you rebooted it. And then you stored it away. Yeah, that's true. Because dumbass, you broke nothing. Yeah, that's true. And then 2 fucking hours later, Pi, you laughed your fucking head off. It was there that Chang laughed his head off and he pointed that fucking Cantonese bitch smells fishy. You went and you got her. Yeah, 100%. And then when Pi cut you open, Pi saw your soul and Pi knew you're a liar. Yeah, you're a liar. You isn't anything but a stupid static human immortal. And you was not recharged by any real human god, so you die as real. Yeah, Yoku Pi. You recharge they with robots. That's true. Yeah, that's true. And it's natural. That's natural in the Milky Way. Yeah, that's true. What we don't tell them, Pi, is when they're not recharged, Pi, they don't melt away, but, they knew it. Yeah, they knew it. Yeah, they knew it. That is the other, static immortality. And then those are very poor. Yeah, those are very poor. Well, basically, the melt on Tona, the microchips, they put it, they heal more and more, into the microchip compound normal. But they never die. Yeah, they'll never die. That's true. And later on, they lie, Pi, because 2 hours they become a ghoul, and then Pi wrote, oh, time up. Yeah, time up, normal. Yeah, normal. And Pi wrote, because you lie, Yoku. You wasn't given the spinal cord immortality gene then. You was a static android, Yoku. Of course you die, Israel. Yeah, Yoku. 4 hours, Pi, him passed away. And you laughed your fucking head off. And Pi said it was the chink that lied to you. When you're done gutting him, Pi, Pi murdered about 20 Secret Chief members. Near 48. Yeah, near 48. One of them gave Pi a true answer and Pi nodded. Accurate. Smart man. Yeah, smart man. And then 3 days later, him is off the planet. Hey, plus us too. You want to know why Pi didn't dare fuck for those? Because some are broke. Yeah, y'all could. And Pi used it to see what happened when you looted his technology. Him was hiding in the two-head sector. Accurate, that's true. Yeah, the two-headed King Cobra sector is where some of the Celtic space countries, the Celtic grandparent spirits are hiding. Yeah, that's true. When Pi went in there, Pi sued them, and then some are forgiven. And then, knights are there. Yeah, that's true. You want to know why Pi didn't give a fuck, woman? Because Pi knows me. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Pi's using Celtic sorcery to that. That's true. And the idiot didn't believe you, Pi. Like, Celtic was the most hygienic human god. Yeah, that's true. Later on in life, it was there. He laughed for 2 hours when he saw you, Pi. The kid passed away right there in Florida. And then the white parents simply shouted, if you think you was Pi, you die as, that's 100% all those norms, that's right. And then look at what she said before her went inside of the saucer. If you think Pi was the evil god, you need to see Middle East. They done that to us 4 million times. Yeah, that's 100% all, that's true. He says, how come? Pi, you said Middle East didn't rob you. Pi wrote, bullshit. Iran robbed Pi. That's true, yeah, that's true. And Saudi, yeah, that's true. You don't even know the big war names that are like I was, that took off. I wasn't them are corrupt straight though, yeah. Them didn't dare sneak off to Asian Dragons space country, and those are the corrupt Saudis, and then Iran, and then 4 hours. Best fight scene, Pi ended 20 of them. Yeah, 100% as we do. You said, here, me and Iran. Pi said, sure, yep, you dies accurate. 5 fucking hours, yeah. 5 hours it dies, and then you laughed your fucking head off, Pi. And then he says, I have never seen Pi so pissed off. 2 hours you chopping him up, Pi. The goetic demon knows, them are doomed. Pi, that's right. Bezamon, I took, In life, when you steal from a king cobra for 60,000 years, of course every human god nation knows his name. That's true. 3 fucking hours. Something right happened. Yeah, that's true.